Welcome to the Brant Phillips Show, the show dedicated to results. Now, here's Brant.
Welcome, my friends, to the Brant Phillips Show, the show that's dedicated to results, improving and creating results that you desire in your life and in your business. You know, my goal as always on this podcast is to help to inspire, motivate, educate, and equip you to go out and take action. So with that being said, my friend, let's have a little conversation about you're fired. That was a horrible Donald Trump impression there, but that's the focus of today's podcast. So many of you remember Donald Trump from the Apprentice days, not from his presidential days, and we're not going to have a political conversation right now, but from Donald Trump, from the Apprentice, from the Celebrity Apprentice, from the Apprentice, from back in those days, where he used to end every show with the famous quote of, "You're fired." So that's probably not something that you would want to hear if you're dependent upon your job. But I will tell you this, actually, that I've seen firsthand from many, I'll call them accidental entrepreneurs that have used their forced unemployment, with air quotes again, if you will, and they used that forced unemployment, they became accidental entrepreneurs, and they used it to find their focus and to gain strength while their back was against the wall, and go out and create some incredible results. You know, that they say that necessity is the mother of all invention. And they use it to their advantage. Their termination turned out to be the genesis of their inspiration. All right. And so with that being said, I've also seen the opposite. Of course, I've seen this so many times. I've seen so many others who've allowed an unexpected layoff or termination or a downsize to completely devastate them, to ruin them financially, mentally, destroys their marriage, their health, everything, their entire life. And I even saw this, not to that extreme, but I saw this firsthand in an early age whenever my father lost his job for a long period of time. We went into a period of bankruptcy, foreclosure. We lost our house. We had to move. We ended up renting this little house, and we lost everything, right? So it was really hard for my parents, but I saw them stick together. They stayed together. They're still married to this day, right? And they bounced back from all that. But I saw like some of that pain and that struggle from not being prepared for hearing those words, "You're fired," right? And so I want you to consider something. Like maybe you're a W-2 employee, and you've got this job and you've got this career, and we're not going to talk about whether you love what you do for a living or whether you hate it or not right now. We're going to talk about those things in a minute. But just consider this. Consider that no one is forced to be dependent upon a job, right? You're not forced to be dependent upon a job. Being dependent upon a job is a choice. Right? Because I see that a lot of people view having a job or a career, and it used to be having a college degree in this profession, as that was security. My friends, job security in today's day and age is a farce. It is an absolute lie, and it is a misnomer that is still being bought and sold by the masses, right? It's like, they need this job security, but it's really oxymoronic if you think about it, especially in today's day and age, as you see how so many jobs are being outsourced to technology. These big companies are moving in and wiping out entire industries. We've seen it with Airbnb. We're starting to see it in the car business. We're seeing it now with online shopping, the big box stores going out, all of these things, right? And so to me, it's the opposite. having a job and not having a backup plan is insecurity, because it means that you're dependent upon someone else, and that someone else is the person in control. Your employer is the one in control, and they have the ability to pull the rug out from under your feet at any given time. And so I'll tell you, whenever I was in the corporate world, I was very distrusting of them to begin with, because I saw what happened to my father, right? And so I remember one year, this is when economy was starting to tank big time. And they had like a big pep rally, rah, hoorah kind of speech. And they were talking about how strong the company was, and this was a Fortune 500 company that had never had any major layoffs. And they were rallying the troops to come together, stick together, et cetera, because we weren't going to have any layoffs. So we were going to stick together. We were going to hit our numbers, and so that the company could prevent layoffs. And I did my job. I always hit my numbers. I hit my sales targets. I always finished number 1 or number 2. So I never got laid off. But what happened the following month after the big rah pep rally? Guess what? Massive layoffs. The company was trying to hit numbers. Maybe they had good intentions, maybe they didn't. I don't know. I don't even really care to judge. The bottom line was they had a big pep rally pushing for the end of the year numbers to hit it, to look good to the shareholders. Didn't hit numbers. Following month, massive layoff, right? So a lot of people still are upset with that company. They're upset with big companies and what this, the layoff game and chopping heads and things like that. But think about it. That's what companies are supposed to do. Companies are supposed to generate profits and look for ways to save money and save costs. And there's no bigger way to cut costs than labor. So that's what they do. So if you find yourself in a job, that's okay. If you're okay with having a job, but to me, it's not okay putting yourself in a vulnerable position for you and your family, where if that rug gets pulled out from underneath you, you don't have anywhere else to turn. Hey, this is Brant, and I hope you're enjoying today's show. If you're at a place in your life or your business where you just feel stuck, or you just don't know what actions to take to help you get unstuck or onto the path to creating the results you truly desire, please take a few minutes and go to my website, brantphillips.com. There's some really valuable resources and information that may be able to help you out. And if you're interested in really speeding up results with the help of a coach and mentor, and adding true accountability and guidance to your life and business, please reach out to me from my website as well at brantphillips.com, or going directly to www.brantphillips.com/coaching. Now let's get back to the show. Accepting a check, accepting benefits, all these things from a company is fine, but I would have you consider that you don't have to give them full control over your finances and over your future in the event that job is no longer available to you or your family. Because if you have the fundamental skill sets necessary to invest in real estate, then you have the ability to make money no matter what happens to you with your job. And that's one of the things that drew me to real estate, because it was something that I could do while working my job. It was a part-time business that I could invest in real estate while working my job. Now, I was in the category that I did not like my job. I did not want to stay at my job any longer than I had to. I wanted to leave my job as soon as possible. It took me a little over 2 years after I bought my first property to go full-time as a real estate entrepreneur. But that's what I quickly learned, was that, wow, not only did I no longer have to be dependent upon this job, but I had viewed, or I had seen so many other people view their job as security, but it was really insecurity, because job security for me it really came when I learned how to invest in real estate, when I learned how to develop these fundamental skill sets. I call them the 7 fundamentals of real estate investing, when you can make money in any market in real estate, whether the market's up or down. And when you have these skill sets, my friend, you've created the greatest security in the world, because you have the ability to go out and make money, and you're not dependent upon anybody else. Your future's not relying upon anybody else or any other job, nor do you care about what the market does, whether it's up or down, and it doesn't matter. And I've coached and trained so many students who chose to invest in their education by learning to invest in real estate while they were working in the midst of their career. And guess what's happened to some of them? They've been laid off. They've been let go. And guess what they had? An investment business that they could fall back on and survive. And not only survive, but thrive. And then I've worked with other students who haven't been laid off, and they've just decided, man, I'm doing pretty good with this real estate thing. I think I'm going to go ahead and do this full time. I actually have one of my good friends and students just left his job this month, or he's leaving his job this month at the time of this recording. He was texting me last night. And then I have some students that they're like, I love my job and I love my net worth now, and I love the cash flow I've created while investing in real estate at the same time. And that, my friends, is just called foresight. It's called wisdom and planning. And so I want you to consider that, if you love your job and it's something that you're passionate, it's something that you enjoy, then by all means, you should continue on that career path. But don't put yourself in this vulnerable position where you're not prepared in the event that something happens, if your company has to lay you off, or something happens to your health, or what other situation. And then really ask yourself, is that job, is that plan even that you're executing now really going to give you the life and the finances that you desire to provide the things for your family, to give back to others, and just to go out and do the things that you want to do in your life? And just ask yourself, and just be real and raw and honest with yourself. For those of you listening to the show, are you prepared to survive if you hear the words, you're fired, right? And better yet, for those of you who do not love what you do for a living, how would you like to be able to walk into your boss's office tomorrow and tell them, you're fired, man, because I don't have to work here anymore? And that's what I did. And I didn't do it like that. I had a great relationship, actually, with my boss. But the point is, I got to the position where I was able to walk away and do something that I enjoy, set my own schedule, and just continue since that time to continue to create a life and a business that I enjoy, something that I love to do every day, and I give back and get to do the things that I enjoy, right? And I know for some of you guys, that may sound completely out of reach. If you're starting, you don't know anything about real estate investing, or it's just scary, or you've got, I'm going to call them excuses, but a lot of things I hear people say, well, I don't have the time, I don't have the money, I don't have the support of my spouse, it's not, the market conditions aren't right, yada, 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 excuse. My friend, I've heard these all before, right? And I've said this statement before, I'm going to say this again, that our thoughts become our things, right? Our thoughts become things. So your thoughts will become things. So whether you, as Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. So the thoughts that you meditate on and that you believe upon will become true. So whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right. And so wherever you find yourself in this conversation, job, no job, dependent upon a job, not dependent upon a job, currently investing in real estate, not currently investing in real estate, wherever you find yourself, you owe it to yourself. You really do. Don't allow yourself to stay dependent upon someone else. Don't live your life in the fuzzy golden handcuffs to that job that could vanish tomorrow. Take control. Just take control. Go out and take action. If you've desired to pursue real estate, do it today. If there's something else in your heart you feel called to do, go out and take action on it. Don't wait until your back is against the wall, until that rug gets pulled out from under you. Start today. Use the wisdom that you know that you have inside of you to prepare yourself for tomorrow. And like I said, even if it's not real estate, just begin preparing yourself and your family to be in control of your destiny instead of allowing someone else to be at the driver's seat. Well, my friends, that's all I have for today. I appreciate each and every one of you for investing your time to listen to the show. Like, it means so much to me. Appreciate all the love and support I get from you guys. And until then, I'll see you on the next show. And I'm encouraging you to go out and create results in your life and in your business.
You've been listening to The Brant Phillips Show. To listen to past shows, get updates on future shows, and find other resources or information about coaching, visit BrantPhillips.com.